Hi, good evening. Just getting started. Oh, Bill tells me the wire is in my way. My charging cable, so my phone doesn't die in the middle of the video. Hopefully I didn't shake it up too much. So I think we're good.
You're good?
We'll just give it a minute so I can see if people are joining. Hi, Deborah. Thanks for joining. So tonight we're going to, it's been a while. I think it's been, 3 or 4 weeks since I've done a live. We've gone on vacation and, you know, the job that pays the bills gets a little stressful and runs long in the day. So I wasn't able to make it last week, but I'm glad to be back this week. And, you know, it's September. So we got to start looking at some fall things. And one of my favorite sets out of the annual catalog when it came out this past summer was this Beauty of Earth set with the Beauty of Friendship bundle and the papers. They're just gorgeous. So that's what we're working on with this evening. This is the stamp set and the dies, and these are the gorgeous papers. And so we're going to keep it pretty simple this evening. Let me move these out of the way. These are the 2 cards we will be making, and we're letting that designer series paper do the work for us this evening. And so I think this is pretty good for fall. So let's start with this one first. Let me grab my little kit here. We'll pull all of our pieces up. Hey, Crystal. Good to see you. Good evening, Linda. Hello from Pennsylvania. Back to you in Ohio. All right. So let's work on our fall cards. So this card, I am using Cajun Craze. And my piece measures 5.5 by 8.5, scored at that 4 1/4. And then we're doing a dual layer here. I have been going with the smaller layers. So this one is in Misty Moonlight, and it is 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. Hi, Barbara. And so then this DSP, which I absolutely love, it has all of these Cajun Craze and espresso and different colors in it. This is just that 1/8 of an inch smaller. So it is 5 by 3 3/4. So the first thing we're going to do is find my glue that I forgot. So that we can glue this together. Here I was thinking I was all ready. So we will glue these 2 pieces together. And remember, you don't have to worry a lot about measurements. This is the tutorial. I have some handwritten notes on mine. This will be attached in the newsletter that goes out tomorrow, and Bill will also put a link to it when he posts the video on YouTube. So if you're watching it on YouTube, there's a link below that you can go and get the tutorial from. All right. So then we're going to mount this right here in the center. I just love these fall colors. And, you know, today was such a busy day. I hate to admit this, but I didn't realize till this evening it was my mother's birthday today. She passed away in 2019. So I guess I just maybe intentionally left it out of my mind. She would have loved these cards. She also liked the fall. So then what I did was I went in and with Early Espresso and Cajun Craze, using the dies that come in this bundle that are just beautiful. We're just working with really these 3 today. I took some trees and cut those out. And we are just going to sort of layer these on the front of the card. Just put a few tiny glue dots here. It doesn't need a lot. Get one right there. I'm going to paste that right there. This one's a little harder. You could put some sticky sheets on the back of here before you cut it out. And then you could just peel the sticker off. But I just decided to dab a little glue in a couple places. Hi, Sharon. Thanks for joining. Now, this tree's a little tall, so it is down to the edge of my card and up. See, oh, I got one piece twisted there. We'll have to put a little piece of glue under that. Luckily, the glue dries clear. I must have bent this. There we go. So there are our trees, and you can come in if you want to add a little more. Now, when I did this card, I wanted to use, and hopefully you can see it, I think right there. I wanted to use copper embossing powder to go with my fall. Thanks, Barb. So, and I wanted it on the early espresso. I like that look. I know you have to really sort of take a look at it, but it says friendship refreshes the soul. And I like that dark color. But for the second card I'm doing, I wanted to show you how it would also look on white. So I just took this and using my embossing butter, oh my goodness, embossing buddy with the Versamark ink and then our copper embossing powder and did this. And then I just cut it to fit. And then behind it, I just actually glued it down to a piece of early espresso and then just cut that a little bigger. So before I put this down with dimensionals, I'm going to pull in some tape here. And we're just going to take some of this twine and I'm just going to wrap it around my fingers a few times and try to, try and intentionally make something look messy is, I don't always find that the easiest to do. So I have that down. I have the tape holding my linen thread in place. And then I'm just going to put some dimensionals on here and we'll put that on top of that linen thread. You could also attach it to the back of this if you wanted to. For me, I think it just works easier to tape down the thread and then put that right over it. So there we go. Now for the inside, I wanted to show you, this is dual stamping. I went ahead and I did stamp the tree in early espresso, but I'm going to show you how I stamped. If you see the inside here, it has that dual color on it. So we're going to do this one in Cajun Craze. Such a pretty fall color. So I'm going to take the first stamp that's sort of an all over stamp and I'm going to stamp it off. Oop, let me try that again. There we go. That's good. I think my ink pad needs re-inked again. Let's see. All right. Stamp it off. And then I'm using this piercing mat because these are those photopolymers, so I'll get a better stamped image. You can see where on my scratch paper here it was missing. When you use that piercing mat, you don't get that missed section when you're stamping. Now the other one has some more detail in the leaves. I'm just going to test it. Okay. Now I'll stamp that in full strength right over top. So we get that pretty two-tone for the fall tree. And then we will put this inside of our card. Is everybody ready for fall? Had your pumpkin drinks yet? I'm not a big one for pumpkin coffee, but I did find a pumpkin tea that I liked. So I like a tea latte with pumpkin. So there's our first card. And you can see the difference in the two different sentiments, whether you do it on the dark or on the white. I think they both show up great. So you can always experiment with those. It doesn't have to always go on a white background. Okay, our second card is this one. This card base is cinnamon cider. And so that goes with that other color. I mean, with this paper, there's really so many possibilities of paper you can use. Mossy Meadow, Mary Marlowe, Old Olive, just beautiful colors. So this one is a top folding card. So it is cut at 4 1/4 by 11 and then scored at 5 1/2. And the tree on this one, I stamped it the same way, only this time I stamped the first layer in Misty Moonlight, and then I stamped the darker on the brown to get those two colors for fall. Sometimes we have the leaves that are turning brown and then the color behind it. So again, my first layer is the same. This is that 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. And then my DSP for this blue, it's just the back side of this one, is the 5 by 3 3/4. And you could actually flip these around and do them the other way, but I sort of thought the blue background sort of looked like the sky. So I'm gonna leave that side up. And when you look at this, you can decide when you're gonna put this paste on. I think I want the white above, so when I put this down, I sort of like these lines that are going to show up, so I'm going to put that at the top so I don't cover it up. Go. Now, these two pieces are both 4 1/2 inches wide, so they go edge to edge. This one is 2 1/8, and this one is 2 inches. So I'm going to stick these two together. And again, these cards are simple. We're letting the DSP pattern paper do all the work for us. And I'm just going to align this edge to edge towards the bottom here. There we go. Hi, Sandra. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for joining us. So then again, out of this set, there are some label dies. For this one, I used the smaller rectangular die if I can pick it up. It actually, I don't know if it'll show on the screen, but it actually has a little edge around the cut piece that I like. And so I stamped this one with Thinking of You, and I'm just going to grab some mini dimensionals. I thought they had them here. Ah, here we go. And I'm going to put these on here. Summer seemed to fly by this year. But I do have to admit, fall is my favorite season. So we're just gonna put this in here. Oop, there we go. And then for this one, I just decided to put a bow. And I did pre-make a bow. Here we go. And this is just some white linen thread, white twine. So I'm just gonna find a glue dot and attach that here. And then you can just trim off for as long as you want them. I get the inside done, and then I just pulled in some of the in color gems. And this last one I put cinnamon cider on it, but I think I might actually this time use the Misty Moonlight. We can get them on there straight. Huh. They don't want to cooperate. Come on. There we go. Of course, it can't be easy, right? Because I'm doing it live. There we go. So, pretty simple. I'm glad you like the fall too. I just think it's so colorful and so pretty. Spring's pretty too, but it's more green, right? And flowers. But with fall, you get all these gorgeous colors. And you can have campfires. And so those are our cards for this evening. It is the first of a new month. So I did want to let you know there is a new hostess code. So if you're placing an order and it's under that $150 mark, please remember to use the hostess code. It'll also be in the newsletter. So I really appreciate you joining me this evening to make some cards. As always, thank you for taking time out of your day to spend it with me, and I hope to see you again next week. Thanks. Have a good evening.